This is the Honest Fit Life. But before we get into all that, wanted to give you full disclosure that we are not fitness trainers, doctors, or healthcare professionals. We are just everyday regular people that are sharing what has worked for us, and what has worked for us may not work for you. This is not meant to be a guide for weight loss or fitness training, just our experiences. So before beginning any weight loss program or fitness training, consult your doctor or healthcare provider. All right, everybody, I am David, and joining me today is my wife Mandy
Hi, everyone.
and our son Gabe.
Hey everyone.
So, on this episode, we're going to talk about bulking and cutting. What and how you can bulk and cut. So, we're going to break it down into a couple different sections. Um, Figured it might be appropriate because we are close to swimsuit season.
Mm-hmm.
We're just getting into that point, and now would be a good time to, if you've got some fat to lose or if you just want to cut down, now would be a good time to do that. So, we're going to cover some of those things as well as how to put muscle on, how to bulk up, which is the opposite of cutting.
Right.
So,
So I will say this is typically a bodybuilder's program of what they do. They'll bulk and then they cut. Um, this is a little more advanced topic. This is not beginner stuff. This is if you've already been going to the gym for a long time, you're building muscle, you're eating lots of protein, but you're kind of noticing you're getting a little bulky. Then you want to cut. So basically, we're going to be talking about how you go about either one of those, just as a normal individual, not a bodybuilder.
right, okay, all right. Well, let's jump into it. So the difference between bulking and cutting.
Basically, bulking is, I guess according to this article, Garage Gym Reviews. It's a prolonged period of putting on mass while at the same time negating any fat mass accumulation. Basically, you're just eating a bunch of food. This is to me a clean bulk, which a clean bulk is when you're still eating, I guess.
Healthy.
You're still eating healthy foods, but you're just eating probably like 500 more calories to 1,000 more calories, just to put on mass, basically. So basically, keyword, eating enough food to gain mass, muscle mass.
Right.
So there's also what I read. There's also a dirty bulk. You're
Yeah.
basically eating anything and everything. Doesn't matter. Fast
Right.
food, cake, can't. Doesn't
That
matter.
at that same then you gain fat, which is basically
Yeah.
not really the best. That's a lot of people don't really agree with dirty bulking,
Mm-hmm.
just because you kind of look just kind of ugly-ish and
Little tubby.
yeah, and you're not. I feel like you're not gonna feel it too good because you're
Yeah.
just pushing a bunch of weight. You're just eating a bunch of just random sugar and just food
Yeah.
that you like. And
I
you're
would say
gonna
that's what I
gain
call
fat.
it dirty.
Right.
A dirty
right.
bulk because you're eating kind of dirtier foods. You're not
Right.
eating clean, you're not eating healthy.
Right. And the reason you want to add more calories is because your muscles need fuel.
Yeah.
You need more fuel
Well,
to
To build muscle, you need to have that caloric intake and the
Mhm.
protein intake to build that muscle.
Right. For me, it's protein. You need,
Mhm.
you need lots of protein to feed the muscles to let them grow and develop.
Yeah, I would say protein, carbs, fats. You're in a surplus calorie intake,
Right.
reverse diet,
Right.
essentially what they call it.
Right. And I've never been a fan of the dirty bulking.
Yeah.
I don't like that in general. I feel that no matter where I'm at, eating clean is the best way to go. So, I mean, because the other stuff, we've talked about it before with nutrition and whatnot. There are side effects and downfalls to fast food, to donuts and candy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That I don't feel those have
yeah.
any benefit whatsoever.
Yeah, there's a lot of downsides. It can mess up your gut health. It can just cause all kinds of issues.
Yes.
That's why I don't think it's not a popular way to go for sure. So,
Right, right. So doing it the clean way would be the best way. Um, Bulking, the best time to start bulking.
I would probably say around like wintertime or fall.
Late fall.
Basically right when summer starts to end, I would say start upping your calories and lifting heavier weights basically to put on that mass. And probably like working out a little bit more. and doing less like cardio, maybe not less cardio, but just eating more basically. Um, and then you can like maybe somewhere around, making uh probably somewhere around maybe before October, um, maybe like start of September or something, start upping your calories, and then by that time you're probably gonna be start gaining weight
Right.
in the winter.
Right. And obviously with this, increase your workouts. When you're doing a calorie intake, you obviously want to increase your
Yeah.
workout rate too.
Yeah, you're going to be wanting doing heavier workouts, doing
Right.
more progressive overload, really starting upping your weights, really start pushing at the
Mhm.
gym.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's also a popular time through the winter because it's also the holidays.
Right. Well, and
And
it's
you have more, not to say you have more clothes on, you got sweaters and pants and stuff. So it's
Right.
like it's a better time to bulk because it's more, you can hide it more.
right.
essentially.
I mean, in general, my opinion, bulking isn't that lean defined muscle. It's just size.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be a little chunky.
A little
So-
bit.
So, that's why a lot of people do bulk up in the winter when it's just kind of you're layered up anyways.
Yeah.
And so it's not that noticeable what you're going through and all that. I mean, you can technically, in my opinion, you can bulk anytime. It doesn't have to be then, but that's just the easiest.
Yeah, that's the most popular
right.
time to do it.
And it's easy. It's really easy to do your workouts in the winter too, when there's not a lot going on, nothing outside. So
Mhm.
it's indoor activities. Obviously, going to the gym is a great thing to do in the winter when there's nothing else to do.
Right.
So it kind of goes hand in hand with that, in my opinion.
Right.
So, see, diet for bulking. Types of foods, the type of thing you want to do to bulk.
Basically, you're eating more food just in general, basically more like fruits, veggies, lean meats, just things like that, things you've been probably eating before if you're eating healthy, but just increasing it basically. And I mean here, the same article, it says try to make 80% of your diet fruits, vegetables, lean meats, whole grains, and healthy fats. And then a doctor said the other 20% can be foods you like: a piece of chocolate, and a small glass of wine, 1 scoop of ice cream, or a side of onion rings.
Yeah.
The key word is being or.
Right. Well, it's the 80-20
Yeah.
rule that
Yeah.
you've Mandy talked about.
Yes.
That 80% eat right, 20% live.
Yeah.
Live with the foods you like.
I will
Um,
say that in the last probably 6 months, I will say I have been bulking as well. Just kind of annoyingly, I wanted to put on more muscle, so I had to eat more.
right.
And I also was reading some of these articles. It can be daunting to be like, I need to eat. And people are like, yay, I can eat whatever I want. I can eat more food. But at the same time, it's like, I've always eaten very little.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually had to stretch my stomach. I had to eat to the point, like Thanksgiving full, like
Right.
a few times because I'm like, I'm barely getting in calories. I mean, I eat maybe 1,200 calories a day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a small person. I have a small stomach. So I had, if I wanted to gain muscle and if I wanted to start bulking, I had to eat more so that I can gain that muscle.
Right.
So I have put on a lot of muscle. I've put on probably 10, 15 pounds in the
Mhm.
last 6 months of
Right.
pure muscle. So I'm almost at the phase now I might start cutting.
Right.
So it can be kind of, you have to like kind of work yourself up. If you like, okay, I'm going to start bulking, start working your stomach out so that you can have that surplus of calories.
Right. And I mean, I'll admit I went through the kind of something similar that when I needed to start taking in more calories, it was difficult. I'm like, I'm already eating everything I can.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like a little bigger breakfast, a little more, a few more
Yep.
things for breakfast.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you're like,
you
I
know, a
just,
better
I'm like, I had
lunch.
lunch. I had a big lunch. I'm like, I'm still full. I don't want to eat dinner,
Right.
but you need to eat dinner.
Right.
So it's like you have to make yourself eat.
Right. No, definitely. So my little shoulder injury that we've talked about a little while ago, I guess I can give you guys an update. It is healing slowly. I am 6 weeks into it, and it's at the point that I'm functioning on a regular basis without any issues. And then yesterday, I actually went back into the gym and kind of did an upper body workout. I mean, I've been toying. I did a couple things here and there throughout time just to kind of test it and see how it was doing. Definitely still sore, so I didn't do any more than that.
Right.
But yesterday, I could feel it, but I was actually able to do a regular workout. So, point to all this is I have still been on the bulking calorie intake this entire time,
Yep.
even though I haven't been able to push at the gym the way I need to burn the calories. So I would say that I've probably bulked in the wrong direction in places. But I didn't really necessarily want to cut back all the calories. You know, I'm still pushing legs. I've been doing legs virtually 3 times a week.
And they've grown a lot.
Yeah, my legs have done a lot, but not really doing much with upper body. I don't feel like I push myself that hard on leg day or doing legs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel that I'm getting the heart rate up and pushing my body overall as much doing legs as I will with anything upper body.
Right.
And I felt like that honestly was where I was burning or utilizing most of my calorie intake was upper body workout. So because that's been lagging and I haven't really been pushing, and obviously if I'm doing legs, I'm not doing very much cardio because my legs are already tired by the end of it. So it's a combination of both that I've basically cut out pretty much all cardio and been focusing just on legs for the last 6 weeks. And I have noticed kind of a, extra bulk that I'm going to need to deal with that wasn't intended. So, but if I can get back and start doing the upper body stuff and get that redeveloped and get back to where I was, I should be fine.
Right.
So, but just to give you guys an update, yes, I'm healing. It's going to take forever. More than likely, I'm going to be feeling this for months. But as long as it doesn't affect how I function and work out, I'm okay with a little discomfort here and there.
Right.
So, but it is definitely healing. But like the doctor said, it's going to take a lot of time. And it is. All right. So cutting. When should you cut? So the opposite of bulking now. Now we want to tone our muscles and shed the extra fat that we picked up.
Right.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna go back to bulking.
Okay.
Basically, I don't know. There's so much more about each one of these, and I kind of want to touch base, probably a little bit more deeper, into it a little bit. If we run out of time, We can possibly even.
We're good. We're good. Okay. Yeah. If you have something you want to add, definitely add it.
Basically, like for bulking, you just need to watch how much you're eating too, because sometimes when people want to bulk, they eat like a lot, and even if it is clean, you can still like mess it up a little bit. Like what you're trying to do is put on like maybe 0.5 pounds each week or a pound, basically. So you're increasing what this article says. It's a different article. It's ro.co. It's a health guide. And it says if you're bulking, your goal is to between 0.25% to 0.5% of your total body weight each week. So if you weigh 180 pounds, that means you're trying to add roughly 0.5 to 1 pound per week. To hit this target, you want to eat 10% to 20% more calories than your baseline. Basically, you want to create a calorie surplus, which I think we've talked about that before. A surplus is you're eating probably around 500, maybe a little bit above calories, just each day, basically.
Right.
And if you're doing that, then you should be meeting your marks of that, basically, if you're doing it correctly.
Yeah.
And
you still want to be careful of how many calories you're going over.
Yes.
Because if you go too much, then you start adding too much fat.
Right.
So,
Well, and that's basically
yeah.
where I'm at. It's like I'm not burning what I need.
Yeah, you
at
can
this
go
point.
too far with
I
it.
mean, I should have probably cut back my calories a little bit.
Probably.
A little bit. Probably 300 to 500 calories
Yeah.
a day is what I probably should have cut back, but I wasn't sure. So, like I said, I'll recover from it.
Yeah.
I'm not overly worried about it.
Yeah. And then with what was I gonna say? Yeah, it just both of these types of diets with cutting and bulking, you have to be pretty strict with them. Like you have to have a goal in your mind, and you have to set that, and you have to really work towards that each week and each month, and trying to basically reach those benchmarks. And if you're not, then you gotta change something up, basically. But
Well, it
just-
depends how long too you want to be doing it. Do you want to do it in 3 months? Do you want to take 6 months to do it? So you can do it in a short period of time where it's more extreme, or you can lengthen it out.
Mm-hmm.
And also with cutting, which we'll talk about next, you can do that as well with that.
Right.
mm,
Right. But basically, go into this with intention.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know, you have a plan. You stick to that plan. You have a reason for that plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't have to be like super hard, rigid, but you know, really good rough working guide that you adhere to.
Yeah, and like I said, this is definitely more advanced. This is not for weight loss by
No.
any means. This
Yeah.
is for somebody who's already been working out, it's already been and doing their stuff for like, a couple years. They got to dial down. They want to add more muscle,
Mm-hmm.
that sort of thing.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the article talking about micronutrients, is just going to talk about protein, carbs, and fat. Basically, for protein, like every day, your goal is to eat roughly like 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per like body weight, basically. I mean, I know a lot of people that eat like a gram, basically, of protein per body weight, but maybe like a little bit more, maybe into even like 2, possibly. That means if you like weigh 180, then you should be intaking like 131 to like mid like 180s, basically, to meet that protein powder mark, basically, to increase your size. And protein is really a good key component to just working out and like healing your muscles and things like that. And then carbs, you should be aiming to eat like 3 to 5 grams. I think this is talking about body weight, each body weight, because I don't think you should be eating only 3 to 5 grams of carbohydrates a day.
No,
Right.
there's a
So-
ratio for it. I mean, I know mine
Yeah.
on like if I want to do heavy carbs is about 300.
Yeah, but I would say, avoiding carbs can limit your ability to pack on lean muscle mass while bulking. So it's not, you don't want to avoid carbs just in general. I
Right.
would say more with cutting, but just in general, like carbs can be really good.
Well,
Just watching what kind of carbs you're eating though.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you want good clean carbs.
Yeah.
You know, and like you know, the carb cycling I did a little bit, where I had really high carb day and then kind of cut back and kind of rotated through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
think we have a episode if you guys want to.
Yeah,
check that out
yeah, we
somewhere.
talked
Yeah.
about that in past episodes about doing carb cycling and stuff like that. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, for me, bulking is protein and good clean carbs for energy,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously fruits, veggies, and sensible diet.
Yes.
But with your calorie intake upped, 500 to 1,000 calories more a day.
Yeah. And then fats, I guess, I don't know. The American Council of Sports Medicine recommended about getting 20% and 35% of your calorie intake from fats. But yeah, good fats are really healthy for your body. And I definitely wouldn't not intake fats, basically. Don't avoid them.
Right.
So they're really good for you.
I mean, the clean fats, right? There's definitely a difference. I mean, your pizza fats and your nacho
Well, it's like
fats and
saturated fats and
your
stuff
Krispy
like
Kreme donut fats. I mean, I would. Those are not the ones, but like good fats in nuts,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or
For sure.
any other organic, lean meats that still have fat in them. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. So let's. Are we done with talking about bulking?
Hold
I
on.
think so. Oh.
Still looking something up.
Yeah.
Gabe loves this
just-
stuff, by the way.
Yeah.
Talking about it.
Exercises, basically. Basically just some compound movements of just trying to gain strength.
Yeah, because you're focused on building the
Yeah.
muscle. while
So
you're-
focus
while
on
you're
compound
bulking.
movements. I talked about this, I think, before in past episodes
Right.
as well, which to list some of them off, like bench press, deadlift, squat, military press, and like pull ups or whatever, can increase your strength while doing like lower reps with moderately heavy weight. Basically about 70-80% of your 1 rep max. And 1 rep max is just 1 rep.
Yeah, you can manage
something
1 rep. Yeah.
So, and yeah, and basically, yeah, we can talk about what types of reps and things we can do cutting in a couple minutes. But I'm gonna finish
Right.
this
Well,
up
let's
real
talk
quick.
about what the workout routine's the difference for bulking and cutting then, because there's two different thought processes from bulking
Yeah.
to then cutting.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the workout routine for bulking.
Okay. So basically here, it's an example, basically, and it's
Right.
pretty short workout. It's a deadlift, 3 sets of 5 reps. Basically, you're going pretty heavy here because it's only 3 sets and it's only 5 reps. So you're doing something you can only rep 5 times, 3 times, or
Yeah,
3.
you're doing a heavier
Yeah.
weight.
Right. So strength training.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then barbell bent over rows, which are really great for building your back and just your back. 3 sets of 8 reps, barbell curls, and then pull-ups. Pull-ups are a really good exercise to just increase everything, and they're pretty hard, but it's really good to do them. But that's just a short example. Basically, and then here's something about cardio. The one of other myths we should bust that you don't do cardio while trying to bulk. You should absolutely do cardio. I think we had a whole cardio episode too.
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Yeah, and cardio is
But-
necessary. Just
Mhm.
I don't feel it needs to be a lot of cardio. I mean, I shoot for 5 to 10 minutes after
Yeah.
a workout.
But you should absolutely do cardio. It even says in this article here, you should absolutely do cardio with bulking to keep your heart rate healthy and make sure your endurance doesn't suffer.
Right.
That's mostly why I do cardio. It's really helped my endurance
Mm-hmm.
tremendously. So that way you're not getting winded while you're benching, while you're, especially leg day. Leg day is exhausting, right? And you can totally get winded doing squats and stuff. So when you
Oh, the dog below us is having issues.
Sorry, I'm like talking and David's over here just like smiling.
Well,
and I'm like,
'cause-
why are you smiling?
Yeah.
Because
it's-
Gabe
Do
and
I
I
have
both
some-
noticed it. So.
Yeah, do I have something on my face?
No,
no.
no. And I know you guys don't know this, but our dog is always below us when we're doing this.
Yes.
She
Yeah.
comes and lays down below the table every single time.
Yeah.
So, okay. So bulking, cardio, heavy weights. I believe you can do rotation with volume, and then switch out to strength training. Kind
Yeah.
of a cycle with that.
Well,
Right.
I guess with that, here's another thing I want to touch on about just like with cutting and bulking. It's not necessarily you're doing one and the other. It's like you're still doing reps while bulking,
yes.
Yes.
but you're basically doing, I guess, more strength training. And then if you're cutting, then you're doing kind of less of strength training, but you're still doing strength training. You're still doing that progressive overload, but not focusing on that as your key component of that.
Well, like heaviest to the
as your
max.
workouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just keep that on your mind, guys, of just like it's not one or the other. It's you're still combining high reps and intensity with strength training with bulking, and then vice versa. You're just focusing on one of the other kind of more. You're
Mhm.
doing more of the other. So yeah, I just
I mean,
want to touch
I
on
would
that.
say with cutting, add more cardio.
Yeah, little,
Yeah.
yeah. Basically, they try to lose the fat too. So
Right.
I guess moving.
Get your metabolism fired up and going, and
Yeah. Well, then I would do like moderate weight. You're doing a little more reps. I would do the 4 reps that we've been doing. Where
4
you do,
sets,
Yeah,
yeah.
where the 4th set you're doing a drop set. So you're still focusing on building muscle, but you do a little bit more cardio,
Mhm.
cut back on the calories,
Right.
cut back on the fats and carbs. And you can do. Some people do. So also with cutting,
Mhm.
people have done it over the course of like 6 months. I follow this girl on Instagram. She's kind of a bodybuilder. Her boyfriend is as well. she did a cut for 6 months
Mm-hmm.
and she lost 20 pounds. It was just a slow road. It was called or you can do it like 3 months. You can do a micro cut or you can do like a heavy cut.
Okay. Okay. So hang on. So let's slow down a little bit. So cutting, obviously, we're going to lower our calorie intake.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
So basically,
okay.
with that, both diets look pretty similar. You're kind of just doing the opposite, kind of. You're still keeping that 80-20 rule, and you're still eating the same foods, but you're probably going to be eating 500 calories less or 250 calories less, kind of. And I just want to say, like, people probably want to get like that. Here kind of says a Baywatch lifeguard,
Yeah, you can start to look like a Baywatch lifeguard.
or like the word is like a chiseled, kind of like a Greek
Right.
god.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And
I
then
don't know,
and
like-
that calorie reduction is going to be a slower cut. It's going to be a healthier, more manageable cut versus
Yeah.
like micro cutting, which is you're cutting a lot of calories while still maintaining your workout while eating
Yeah.
lean proteins.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you're getting a lot less calories
Yeah.
overall.
And it depends what your goal is. How much weight do you want to lose? Do you want
Right.
to lose like just 5 pounds, 10 pounds, or you don't want to lose like 30?
Right.
You know, do you want to do like a heavy cut?
So I feel doing
Well, at least okay. Well, if you're losing 30 pounds,
Yeah,
it's not a
but
heavy
it's
cut.
like, yeah.
That's a weight loss journey. Right
Yeah.
now.
So I would say micro cutting for me necessarily would not be the thing to do. I don't care if bikini season's 3 weeks away. You know,
Yeah.
it's not sustainable. It's one of those things that it's not sustainable. So doing a slow, intentional cut,
Right.
I think, is a healthier, easier way
Yes.
to go. You're also not going to have the horrible mood swings from feeling starved and hangry all the time.
Yeah, which by the way, when you go into a calorie deficit after eating a surplus, if you're under calories, it can cause sleep issues, mood swings, headaches, all kinds of nasty stuff. So if you
Mhm.
go into a heavy cut where you're cutting 500, 600, 1,000 calories, yeah, it's going to affect you.
Right.
So
yeah,
typically
emotionally.
you want to do between like 200 and 300 calories less for cutting.
For a really slow, like a 6 month
Yeah,
one.
for like, for like a progressive, over a course of several months.
Right. So I would vote for about 500 calories for me.
Yeah.
You know, for if you're
I would
gonna
say
do
for
it, I
nor-
would say
I would say
probably
for an
300 'cause you
average-
don't
yeah.
have as many calories.
Yeah, I would
as
say for
do.
now like bodybuilders, they'll cut in like 3 months.
Yeah.
So they do like a heavy cut, and I've even read like I have a competition coming up in like end of summer, like in like a couple months or whatever, and they're like, yeah, my husband's gonna hate me for a while
Mhm.
because they're gonna get cranky, they're not gonna sleep, which just makes you even more cranky, but they gotta do it for competition.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be that intense. You just,
No,
it's still a discipline thing. You still have to be, like intentional with when you're doing these types of diets. Like if you want to cut, you gotta cut. Like you gotta like follow a plan, make a goal in your brain, and keep
Yeah.
doing it. You know.
Mm.
Like,
see, it's hard. Like for me, like I've thought about cutting here, like talking about it even today. I'm like, I should probably start cutting because I've noticed I've bulked up a little bit in the last three months.
Mhm.
And I did an unintentional cut back in January. We were sick for a week,
Right.
and I ate like maybe 500 calories the whole week
Yeah.
because I just did not want to eat. So I noticed after that, I'm like, hey, I did a cut unintentionally, and I kind of liked how I looked, but I wanted to still put on muscle. So now it's like summer is coming. I would say for me, I would start cutting probably around April.
Mhm.
So you're going in kind of summer season, maybe 5 pounds less, 10, around that. And
Right.
you just keep kind of cutting throughout the summer.
Right. Okay. So what types of food to cut down on? What would we eliminate? Just
I would
eat a little bit less, or
I would say cut down on carbs
Yeah.
and fats.
right?
You still want to keep up on the protein.
I mean, you still need a
not
certain
quite as
level of
much.
fats, but yeah, I would say
Yeah.
cut the carbs a little bit, and eat just a little bit less overall.
Yeah,
So
That's
just
what
dial
I-
back your carbs a
yeah.
hair. And
that's what I'm planning on doing
Right.
for myself.
Gabe, do you have anything to add to types of foods to cut down on?
Basically with, I mean, there's a kind of complicated thing of calories in and calories out, but basically, if you're cutting, you really need to focus on how many calories you're eating each day. Like really, um, I don't know, like calculate how many calories you're doing, like how many calories you're eating each day. Basically, calculate the calories each food is or whatever, and at the end of the day, see how much you ate. And you kind of have to be kind of strict on it, and disciplined with
Yeah.
cutting. And then same as bulking, but with cutting, it's like if you want to lose weight, then or like lose the fat and get kind of like more toned, then you got to be kind of like more strict on your calories in, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really watching the extra stuff
Right.
that you're
Mhm.
eating, the
Like-
extra snacks, the extra drinks,
Yeah,
the extra.
well, like just here, it's like talking about like just the peanut butter you
Mhm.
have on your bread, or the cream you put in your coffee. Like literally everything,
Right.
liquids, the spread, whatever, a freaking strawberry. Like
Mhm.
you gotta like really get dialed in onto it. You might want to have some planned meals ahead. Some meals you have in your brain that how many calories are in there and that you like, that you can eat multiple times or whatever, each week and stuff like that. But yeah, all that stuff counts. Like, just like 10 calorie whatever,
Yeah.
Mhm.
something, it counts. So just watch it, don't like kill yourself over it, but just be strict on it, Just
Right. And I
like watch it a little
my
bit.
belief I like having a general plan. I
Right.
don't like having an on paper regiment.
Yeah.
One, life is too complicated a lot of times to always adhere to it.
Yeah. It needs to be realistic. It needs to
Yeah.
be something you can actually stick to.
Right. Not going, I've got to hit, 2,500 calories, on the dot all the time.
Yeah.
It's like there's going to
Well,
be fluctuations. And I
yeah.
don't think you can realistically be that precise with it.
Yeah. Well,
And
see, for
so,
me,
you
it's
know-
like I don't agree with like if you got to write everything down, you're measuring out your foods, you're measuring out everything. Then it's like you're looking at the spreadsheet every day. Then it's like your friends, somebody has a birthday party, and you're going out to
Mhm.
dinner, and you're like, I can't eat anything. It's like you still need to enjoy life.
Right.
You just need to really keep track of what you're doing every day. Like, okay, be intentional
Mm-hmm.
with what you're doing. I don't think you need to be like super rigid and strict with it. Don't feel like you're punishing yourself. Don't feel guilty for actually having like piece of cake at a friend's birthday party, even though you're cutting.
Right. Because that still
It's
counts
like,
as your
yes,
20.
it's like it still needs to be 80-20.
Well, I
Just
guess
having a plan.
talking about that, 80-20, you might want to do a 90-10 because with bulking, you kind of get away with it, but with cutting,
Mhm.
literally, it's like hard to lose fat. Like, it's for some people like you hold on to fat like really
Mhm.
easily, and like if you eat a piece of cake, then it's like ooh, then you're like, ugh, and it like affects
I mean, but it's
you.
like, but it's like for me, you're talking about cutting them. We're not talking about actual weight loss. Somebody who's in the beginning journey of the stage. This is like for people that are actually like, not to say like us right now.
Right.
I've been working out for almost 3 years. People that have been hitting the gym for a long time, they're a seasonal, workout person. They've
Mhm.
been doing it for a while, and they're, it's like I think at that point you have that discipline to not let yourself get too far with it.
Right.
which I think a person can do in 90-10. So you're basically just cutting less wine and alcohol, and
Well, that's
Just-
yeah.
Those are
You're-
awful.
That's a
you're
killer.
cutting-
Yeah, alcohol. You
Alcohol's a
literally you
horrible
can just
thing if you're
drink.
trying to cut.
I don't care what you're eating. You
Yeah.
can just drink. You'll add in like 20 pounds in a month.
and
Yeah.
sweet sugars.
Yeah.
Like really, like just like almost like completely cut it out of your life for I don't know how many X amount of months. But
Right. Well, that was the
you
other thing we had
just-
in here. So, how long should we be doing these things? So, I would say bulking. You can do half a year, easy. Just
I-
focusing on bulking.
I would say both. Literally both of them, 3 to 6 months.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I would say less on the cut. I mean, bulk to me is building. So
The thing is,
I
yeah,
think you can build.
If
anytime.
you're
I wouldn't
See-
personally wouldn't want to cut for 6 months. I think, cutting for 3 to 4.
Yeah. So basically, if these plans are more of a person that is pretty experienced in just working out or whatever. They've been working out for a while and they've been gaining size and stuff like that, and they want to try something new, then you cut basically. You try to like see, how good can I look with the muscle I have on me right now.
Right.
And that's why basically you can do bulking for a long period of time, especially lean bulk. It's just you can maintain it pretty easily over a long period of time. You can maintain it over years and years. And cutting, it's just like a short period of time where you just want to look good. And I know a lot of people on like YouTube right now, they're cutting, whatever.
Mhm.
They're just
Mhm.
experimenting 'cause they haven't cut in a while, and they're looking great. They're
Right.
Right.
they're just getting more toned and more vascular and things like that. So which is
Right.
good. Um, and that's basically what cutting is. You're just losing that extra 10 pounds of fat.
Right.
So
Yeah, just so your muscles get much more defined. You kind of pop more. You have that more chiseled look, like the article is saying.
also, don't really expect yourself to look like a great god. But
No.
Right.
you know.
No. 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 No.
No,
I
but
mean,
you'll
you gotta
just see
be-
that your muscles are just a little bit more defined.
Yes. Yeah. More shape.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, and in this, I guess the biggest difference between a diet and cutting is the level of fitness that you're still including and how you're doing it.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily just a weight loss program. It is a fitness nutrition routine.
Yeah.
So it's combining both, proper caloric intake and a good structure at the gym,
Yeah.
good fitness program. Yeah, so I guess all that depends on your goals. Microcutting, we talked about it. It's just an extreme accelerated version.
Yeah. A
It's
lot of
basic-
bodybuilders.
It's basically
do
doing it in instead of 3 to 4 months or whatever, you're doing it in like 6 weeks, and you basically just cut down even more calories
Mhm.
and trying to drop 1%
Yeah,
of your
you-
body fat per week.
Yeah, people that mainly do that are bodybuilders
Right, when you're just
for
getting
before
ready.
competition.
Right, because what's going to happen is you're gonna bulk back up as soon as you're done with your low calorie intake.
Yeah.
When
And,
you start eating like a human being again.
and I will say real quick, when you see the bodybuilders like in a competition, how they look so chiseled and so cut, like just sharp lines, it's because they just got done cutting. They're still cutting.
Right, and they
Well,
will.
also they're tan and oiled up.
Well,
yeah,
but even if you don't see them like that, because I've seen plenty of bodybuilders that aren't in competition, they're like a normal looking person, not
Mhm.
spray tanned and all done up, which is weird why they do that. I don't even know
Right.
why.
It's 'cause you look better.
Yeah, but it
Like,
doesn't look better.
No, it makes
But
your
yeah, they go through a huge cutting phase, like a
Mhm.
very quick, intense cutting phase,
Right.
for like maybe a month or two, going right into a competition.
Right.
So that's why if you'd seen them 6-7 months before, they wouldn't have looked like that.
No, and shortly after the competition, they're going to go back to more where they were. And like I said, it's not a sustainable type of
Yeah.
system. So, low and slow. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of the answer to everything. I mean, there's no fast answer to anything.
No.
And if there is a shortcut, shortcuts have drawbacks and side effects.
Yes.
So, as I said, microcutting, if you have an extreme reason to do it, I guess, but you're going to be incredibly moody with the lack of food you're taking in while still pushing yourself at the gym. So, maybe not the best thing to do unless there's an absolute reason for it, which I can't really think of anything that I'd want to put myself through that for.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. Maybe we're getting
Mhm.
married in 2
Yeah.
months.
Yeah. I just want to touch on something real quick. About yeah. Basically people have like in this article or whatever, people have this idea that they're going to keep bench pressing like the same amount of weight while they're cutting. And this doctor said, and while you are not going to lose all of your strength gains, the loss of mass is going to be a result in you not being able to move a barbell quite as quickly as you could when you were 10 pounds heavier. Basically, you're not going to be as strong as you were when you were bulking or whatever, or when you were like 20 or 10 to 20 more pounds heavier. Like, you're going to lose probably a little bit of muscle mass along with a lot of fat,
right.
and you're probably going to be more endured, maybe, possibly, and healthier. but it's yeah, you kind of got to lose something to gain something, I guess.
Right.
Sort of. So
Right. And there's no perfect answer. You know, this
Mhm.
is the best balance is what you're looking for. Is a balance with everything.
Yes.
I don't have anything else. Do you guys?
Cutting exercises.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cardio, more cardio, and I would say more reps. For me, I would do 75% of my max and just a lot of reps. Basically.
Alright.
Someone's
All
yawning.
right, Gabe, let's wake up.
Yeah. Basically, hit workouts, which we already talked about. Check that episode out.
Yeah.
And we basically high reps, moderate weight.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically just building muscle, not muscle mass, but like that toned muscle kind of thing. And you're basically doing a rep range of 15 to 20, basically,
Per
Or y-
set, yeah.
or even 12 to 15. And you're just doing pull-ups, bench presses with lighter weight, uh pull-ups, deadlifts with lighter weight and stuff like that. Bench press with lighter weight, overhead press with lighter weight, like
I mean, I think you can do all
Yeah.
your regular workout, just
Yeah, you can
lighter,
still-
little lighter weight and
You
more
can
reps.
still do the same exact workouts during when you're bulking as when you're cutting.
Right.
You just won't have as much strength, and you want to focus on just reps
Right.
and what did it say there?
I would guess maintain heart rate,
Yeah,
which is a similar effect from doing cardio.
yeah,
Just keep
Mhm.
keep a higher heart rate up.
basically, yeah, I guess an example here, I think this is a hit workout, it looks like it. 21 pull-ups, which is kind of ridiculous, but 21 bench presses, 15 pull-ups, 15 bench presses, 9 pull-ups, 9 bench presses, and then rest for 3 minutes, and then do 9 push-ups, 9 deadlifts, 15 push-ups, 15 deadlifts, 21 pull-ups, and then 21 deadlifts, and then
I mean, that's an example.
done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which that is pretty intense. I've done something similar to this, and you just want to die.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, you're
But-
just you're pushing your body into max overdrive.
21 pull-ups, that's like a lot. Like
Mm.
there's so many people that can't even do one. So maybe lower that, but everything else is doable.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I can crank out 15 push-ups or 21 push-ups in a couple seconds. But
Right. Okay. All right. I think we covered everything. I'd like to thank you guys for listening. We would love to get some feedback from you. So if you have thoughts or questions or whatever, we love hearing from you guys. Best way to do that is on social media. You can follow us on social media. For Mandy, it is honestfitlife_Mandy, and for me, it is honestfitlife_David on Instagram, or you can visit our website at honestfitlife.com. Be sure to consult your doctor or healthcare provider before beginning any weight loss or fitness training program. This has been a Road One Media production. All rights are reserved.